and welcome to the Dimp Digital Podcast. We're on episode number 65, and this time we've got myself, Apps, and Logan. How you doing, mate?
The dream team!
Well, it ain't, is it? It's not the dream team, because this has been a disaster to organise. Because, first off, booked in you and Hall, had you lined up on the day. Enough notice, it's in the afternoon, so it wasn't like too late in the day. Hall puffs out. So we think, right, bin that night, let's reschedule something else in. Adkins then comes in to offer to save the day. So he's like, yeah, I can jump in the next night, no problems, we'll get it done. 90 minutes before recording, he bails. So unfortunately, I'm left with just you, Logan.
Pathetic, isn't it? And it's not what the listeners need or want.
No, well, they've got it, so they're not paying for it, so they've got no way to complain. But maybe it's now called Logan the Reliable.
Well, yeah.
Because that's
man of my word, said it.
Well, I don't know about that particular bit, but Logan the Reliable will install for now rather than Logan the Cunt, which has been installed for the last 64 episodes. Let's kick things off with Gears of War 4. Now, I know a couple of weeks ago we were speaking about the potential of Gears, what it might be like, all this. We waffled about what it could possibly be very, very long time ago. But the beta's out.
Yep.
So you've been playing the beta an awful lot. Hall has as well. I've given it one probably good session last night. After you'd gone offline, I carried on playing with Adkins. We had a good session, played it for a couple of hours. So let's chat about our experience of it. Now, when I was playing with you dumped me straight into a competitive match, getting the snot kicked out of me, and I was getting livid. Yeah. I was furious, wasn't I?
Yeah, you weren't the only one getting the snot kicked out, yeah?
No, you was as well, and then I was slagging it off, going, this is shit. Nothing has changed apart from a few weapons, and I wasn't very pleased with the way it looked washed out. It wasn't as smooth as what I've been promised. You again sent me the comment of smooth as dicks, and that wasn't the experience I got on this occasion. But what surprised me more is that you'd had enough after 15-20 minutes. Went, right, stopping that.
Yeah, well, it's partly because I had dinner literally there and I was hungry. But I don't. Right, with
how much you played it before? Right, how much you played it overall? Because you're level 7, I think I'm level 3 or something ridiculous low.
I think me and Hall put a good few hours in the other day, but again, I got what I needed from it, really. I mean, I've texted Hall a few times to see if he's about for it, and he hasn't been, but I've not been overly fussed by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've played it a little bit. There's 3 maps. There's a couple of game modes. I've only played Team Deathmatch on it. But for me with betas, I like to go, right, what are you offering?
Yeah. And
I can tell pretty early on whether I think I can tell pretty early on whether this is something that I'm going to get into, or if there's any problems, or how I feel about it. And I don't need to be playing these betas endlessly while they're going on, unless I particularly want to. But generally, I just use them as a yardstick to go, right, what are we doing then? Sure.
So what did you think then? What was your overall opinion? You spent a few hours in there. Is this something that could be considered as a must-have now? Because it's been released, October's the release schedule of that. So you've got to make your mind up shortly, you'd think. Well, you must have an opinion now. You must have thought, right, based on that, that's day one. Or based on that, that is a wait-and-see jobby. Or based on that, that's a crumbler when Hall gets it or someone else gets it to do the campaign.
Right. So my initial thoughts on it were, why does this look so poor?
Yeah,
that was the first. As soon as I went into it, I was like, right. My yardstick for this game is Gears Ultimate Edition. To me, that's got to be the yardstick where that's what they're offering at the minute, and that was an up-resed Xbox original game,
360. Yeah.
So we're talking about an old game, so it's got to at least meet those standards. I personally think it looks worse. Yeah. Like the graphic, I mean, it is a beta, so okay, but the graphics look worse. And I'm trying to go back now. I think I played the beta for Gears Ultimate as well.
Yeah.
And how it looked replicated what was released.
Right.
Yeah. And that's my fear for this, is that I think it looks like
what they're serving up.
Yeah. And I think
happy?
it looks worse than Ultimate Edition. I really don't think the graphically it doesn't feel like this gen's game. Like it doesn't feel like that to me. It feels in some way it felt dated.
Yeah.
I wasn't wowed by it. And secondly, it just, and now this is where I'm a bit careful, because
Do not be careful, whatever you do.
what I always say is don't just bolt shit onto it. I don't like them just bunging something else on it. And Gears is Gears. That's what it is. But I think you've also got to go, right, what are we offering people that's new for their money? Like
what's different from this between Judgment is what people ask, because that was the last mainstream entry, and it had already lost significant momentum when that was released. Everyone was a bit down on it and was like, well, that wasn't great. And so you have to, that's how I would draw the conclusion, say, has it changed enough from that game? Because it's all very well going, oh yeah, Gears 1, Gears 2, they were all great games, but the latest one was Gears Judgment, and that wasn't so great. And I can't put my finger on why. I don't understand. I don't know whether it's because we all just got sick and tired of the gameplay, which conversely has not changed in Gears 4, or so it seems.
No, and look, I don't think I actually ever really even played Gears 4 online. I think I did the campaign on that and then went, right, I'm done with it. And then when I went to play online, I think we went back to Gears 3.
Right.
And then it went off the radar for a bit, and then we went on to Ultimate Edition.
Sure.
But I'm not too fussed. The gameplay, like, if that stays like Gears, that's okay, because Gears plays like that. It's very shotgun based. The Lancer's not really used for much other than basic sort of suppressing, I think, really. It's all about power weapons and shotguns, and that I'm okay with. One of the maps I enjoyed, there was 3 maps on there. One of them I enjoyed, 2 of them I wasn't really that fussed by, so they're a bit sort of meh.
I liked Harbour, I think it's called, the one that's in the dark in the rain, simply because it looked different to the other two. The other ones looked really just horrible and washed out almost. I didn't get on with those.
I quite liked Harbour, and I quite liked there was choke points on it.
Yeah.
But there were also
well, I knew I had to get the drop shot as well, and no one else seemed to be going for it, and which I quite like. That power weapon, the drop shot, is a nice addition, which I think
that took me a while to figure out what it was doing.
So essentially, to explain to people how it works, you fire it as usual, but you hold the right trigger as you fire, and the length of this little mini almost bomb, isn't it, that goes out?
Yes,
and you can then dig people out of cover, so you can hold it for like 2 seconds. You can roughly see where it's going to drop, but you have to kind of just feel it and be accurate with it. And if you drop it on them, they die instantly. It's a one shot kill. But it was that was fun to play around with. You only get 3 bullets of it, so once that's up, you've had your fill. But
it's basically the dig dug. I can't remember what the proper name for that is.
It's like Digger, when it was. I can't remember. Yeah,
but it's almost like a replacement for that, but
like a flyover version, isn't it? 'Cause it's floating through the air almost.
But yeah, that's the only new power weapon that I used, and it doesn't really change the dynamic of the gameplay much, because it's as I say, it's almost the same as the dig dug.
Yeah. So me and Adkins, when we was on last night, we played through. Basically, once you went off, he came in. I played the team deathmatch versus the bots, which is humans v bots, and it's a good place just to start. If you're getting the snot kicked out of you, you can jump on that and feel better about yourself. And I kind of got into more of the mechanics. I've been playing the Division a lot, and I've been playing the Division badly a lot as well, as you've seen me. I've been wandering out of cover because we're now facing lower level enemies all of a sudden. We're at level 30. We've just started walking them down, which is an awful habit to get into, because as soon as we do that incursion, we're going to get our fucking asses handed to us. So I need to pack that in. So what that allowed me to do is playing against the bots was get back into the groove of playing Gears, using cover, using the shotgun more than I probably had before. And then we decided, let's give this dodgeball mode a game. It's essentially team deathmatch, but every time you kill someone, they are out of the game and they get 1 life, they're gone. Now, the only way to be revived and be put back in the game is a member of your team then gets a kill. So you'll kill one of the opponents, and then whoever's dead on your team, who was on the bench, quote unquote, will then come back in. So you get these really interesting swings back and forth, and they're quite quick. Well, they can be quite quick. If some fucking devastator comes through and blasts through 4 of you, you've had it. You've absolutely had it. But it creates these really cool moments where if you're the last person on the team, it's 3v1, for example, you're on your own. If you can just get 1 kill, they'll be down to 2, and you'll be up to 2. So you can immediately swing the momentum of the game quite quickly, and it's definitely something. I'm surprised. I can't think. I'm not the biggest multiplayer fan, but I cannot think of much else that's done anything similar to that.
It seems really obvious.
Yeah,
it's a multiplayer game mode, but I can't think anything off the top of my head that I've played that's got this.
No, it's really good fun though. It is good fun, and I wasn't enjoying the beta at the very beginning. As I got into it a bit more, I kind of got in the groove thing. I was like, okay, now I remember how to play this. Because I wanted to switch it off last night when I was with you. I was like,
all you're doing is shit.
Yeah,
absolute shit. What is the fucking nothing is different? It's just, what are people getting out of this? As all.
Yeah, that is what I was saying. You know what it's like. You have to learn the game. It's like I'm moaning at people going, "Oh, you haven't given Bloodborne a chance." It's essentially that.
Yeah.
Not to that scale, but you have to learn to play it. And then I was going, "Oh, biff your bollockless boss." I was doing the same. I was going, "That's crap. Get it off." But it was fine. I mean, that's my only criticism. It was just fine.
Yeah.
And it was Gears again, and Gears has got a good formula. I mean, would you want them to change it? Probably not, because they'll get moaned at for doing that. You don't want things exactly the same, and I'm not sure. The multiplayer is, for me, in the Gears series, has never been the focus. And I think that, and we saw this with Uncharted, and we saw this also with Doom, that's had a beta as well, is releasing these multiplayer betas. It kind of artificially hypes up the multiplayer over the campaign. And for me, the key to Gears is always a good campaign that you could play through co-op, split screen, over the internet, whatever. And then the multiplayer was tacked on. It was like, and then they introduced Horde mode, which I really got into. But rumour has it Horde mode's no longer going to be here for Gears 4.
Yeah, I did like the Horde mode.
So that, to me, is a massive downer on it. But yeah, having a multiplayer beta, it takes the focus off that, and it makes me maybe wrongly concerned that they're not going to be putting as much effort into it. I'm sure they are, and I'm sure that all they're doing is using this beta to do multiplayer feedback. But I can't help but think, because they release one, that you kind of think, right, is that what they're focusing on? Are they forgetting the campaign? Is JD Phoenix going to get the story that his dad did?
It's a valid question.
Yeah.
I think these are going to become the norm now.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to think of many AAA, if you like, or class it under that, AAA games that have got multiplayer that aren't doing betas.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what it is. It's down to the marketing as well. And I mentioned this last week briefly. With Uncharted, all you ever see is footage from the single player campaign. So when they did their beta, you knew you could, we played the multiplayer, we enjoyed it, whatever, but you still knew in the back of your mind that the main focus for them seemed to be the campaign. And I don't think I've seen enough of the campaign to make that same jump with Gears. I haven't got the same trust that they're going to give me the campaign I want.
Who's doing it?
Maybe who's doing it, and also because I've not seen enough of it.
By the last one as well.
Well, yeah, that's not helped the situation. That has not helped the situation. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I just think that if they'll start showing the campaign sooner or later, and I think then maybe I'll be in a better position to kind of judge it. But if I only ever see multiplayer and esports this, esports that, up until the release, and then maybe want the odd story trailer, I'm going to be concerned. And at the moment, I can't. It's going to go in this weird pile for me where I'm going to have to. I don't know. I don't feel like I could just go out and purchase this day one and be happy with myself.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I mean, I do enjoy playing Gears Online. It's not an online game that I choose to play on my own, though, and it never has been. Like, I'd always play it generally with Hall, because he's the only one that really picks this up online. So,
yeah.
And I'm happy to do that, and we'll pick it up every now and again for a few games. I'm not overly amazing at it. I mean, my bread and butter is first-person shooters, as we know.
Sure.
Third persons, I'm a bit sort of, okay, I could do it, but...
Come on.
Yeah, and I'm just sort of... I was really excited for this, because I thought, right, well, considering how good Ultimate Edition was, I was thinking, okay, I expect them to up the game a little bit on this one, and it'll look really good, it'll play really well, new ideas, something that will be brought that they'll want to add on, or something but
dodgeball.
It just feels very middle of the road.
Yeah, it's unremarkable is that word I like to use now.
Yeah, and that's why last night most stuff when other people are on, I really want to be there because I don't want to miss out, and I enjoy it. Last night I was quite happy to go away and have my dinner, and I don't think it's because it's bad necessarily or that it plays badly. I just think I just go,
I've done this 4 times already.
Yeah, I know what I'm getting from it now. I don't.
Over 10 years, you've had 4 of these, and it hasn't changed. But do you want change? That's that difficult question.
I'd like, as I said before, I like them to try it. So keep the Lancer.
Yeah.
Keep the shotgun. That's fine. But
drop shot in there.
Something simple, okay. I mean, it may be that they just haven't given us the weapons or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Something that I really enjoyed doing on Gears 3 was Retro Lancer.
Yeah.
I think they are bringing it back on this one.
Yeah.
But it gave you another dynamic where you can charge at people and get them with that changes the dynamic just that little bit, and it's good fun as well. Yeah, and it's not a huge change. But it's just that little something else that's a bog standard weapon that you can go, right, you can have that.
Load out straight from it and it'll give you a different tactic to use.
Yeah, and I don't know. And I'm not saying I expect them to do something radical, but something that might just switch it up a little bit. I haven't got an idea. I haven't even got a suggestion, but I'm just saying and the problem is, if you're not making it look graphically better, if you're not up in the frame rate and going, look how smooth this is, and what am I getting that's different other than a few maps then, really?
Yeah.
And the answer is, well, what I felt like was nothing.
No.
I didn't feel like. I mean, they've added in challenges and things like that you can do.
Fuck off.
XP, but there's nothing. I'm looking for things in the gameplay that are going to change it or make me go, I can't do that on the previous one. I won't be able to do that on this one. And I felt like that's what was lacking.
This is why I want them to show me the campaigns. I can say, okay, I don't want to miss that story. I don't want to miss that journey.
It does concern me now, as I say, that I think we mentioned in the last podcast that it feels a bit like they were going to go down a darker sort of more.
Yeah.
So I don't think, judging by the gameplay, that they're going to do that. It doesn't feel like they're going to.
No, it doesn't. No, the multiplayer certainly doesn't. But there's room for them to completely control the elements in a campaign to make it feel like that. Like they can scarcely have ammo. They can change the setting, make it darker. They can do that. You're right, but the multiplayer certainly won't change. That is locked in as the Gears franchise. That won't change. They can do something. They could potentially do something different with the campaign if they wanted to, because they control the elements. They control, the enemies. They control everything on that. So they could kind of manipulate that. And I hope they do something slightly different, because I'm not sure if I've got it in me, because this is essentially Gears 5. It's not lying. So it's Gears 4. It's the 5th one, and there's been a lot of similarities between them all. But we'll see. I mean, one of the other bits of information that's come out over the previews, it's open beta now, so everyone's having a go at it, is that there's a season pass. Pretty standard these days. They can call them different things, whatever. This is actually called a season pass now. The season pass for Gears of War 4 is going to be priced at £39.99. So pretty pricey. What it's going to include is a vintage JD Phoenix. I assume that's a skin of two sorts. 2 vintage weapon skins. Standard bullshit here. Then it kind of changes. So there's something that you might not be aware of, and I'll try my best to explain how the map system's going to work in the full game. But it will also give you permanent access to 24 additional DLC maps for private play on dedicated servers. Now, Gears 4 will come with 10 maps at launch, so you'll get them as 10 standard maps. All DLC maps will be free, so season pass or not, you'll get these for free, but they will be rotated in and out of public matchmaking. So, for example, you may only have access to, Harbour map, for example, during March. Then in April they'll change it. So if you want to play a map outside of this rotation, then you'll need to buy the map with real money and host a private game. So essentially the season pass allows you to expedite that and have access to all the maps all the time and do this private game functionality with all 24 maps. Only one friend has got to have access to this, so I could buy the map. or I could have the season pass and invite you guys in. You don't all have to have it, so I would expect to see some online Gears of War communities popping up for people to do that. But the season pass essentially gets you access to all the maps whenever you want in private play, and it also includes stuff like exclusive developer playlists for new maps, modes and features that you can test before the actual full release, and it'll give you access to 6 gear packs, which is basically a load of skins and armor bits and equipment and boosts and whatnot. Those cards as well have introduced. Lot to digest there, and some you purposely did not read up about this because you wanted to give me your live reactions to the information. Let's start with the easy part. Yeah. Season pass is £40, and I can hear the ghosts of Battlefront, I can hear the ghosts of Battlefield, I can hear the ghosts of Batman Arkham Knight whispering. Surely it's too much. We've done this before, and I don't think our stance is going to change. £40 for a season pass, that's absurd.
Yes.
Do you want the context?
Yeah, go on then.
Gears of War 3 season pass, £19.99.
Yeah, half price. Okay, let's just digest that. So
there's a lot of bollocks there.
All the skins and shit.
Yeah, fuck it.
Off.
Yeah,
I'm not I don't
even want that in your mouth. I'm not going to digest that.
I don't even need that. So what I'm digesting is essentially 24 maps for 40 quid.
Yeah.
That I can't even play online when I want.
No,
they just won't be there that month.
No, so essentially
use 4 or something, for example.
Yeah, so the way it works is if you don't have the season pass, you'll get access to all these maps eventually, but they're rotated.
Right.
If you have the season pass, you can have them whenever you want, but you have to host a private game and invite your friends in, which I don't know if I have 8 people that want to play Gears of War 4 at once. I play with me, you, Hall, Adkins maybe, and the rest of the other teams are made up of randomers. I don't know how that's going to work.
Well, it won't, only if you can find those randomers to get in there, because they won't be able to matchmake.
Yeah, because you've got to invite them because it's private. What's going on? They've got to offer some sort of season pass matchmaking, because that's absurd otherwise.
Well, yeah, I don't understand where that... I don't understand where the incentive is, because I can play it for nothing when it's in rotation.
Yeah.
So why are they... I don't understand that. It's not like it's... I don't think that it's diabolically poor in the sense that they're not giving me necessarily enough for my money, or it seems expensive. It just seems really odd to go, right, £40, but you don't really need it to play it. You go, well, why am I going to buy that then? I'll just use the 4 maps that are in rotation and I'll just play the other one. Like, one has got 8. I mean, I bet there's very few people in the world that have got 8 mates that will go,
private that.
Yes, that's just really odd.
So I think these communities will pop up. So there'll be like I don't know how it'll work, a forum or something where you join.
Reddit, no doubt.
And Reddit, there'll be a Reddit, and they'll be like, right, I've bought the season pass, let's do on this night, if you want to come in, drop you, and there'll be communities like that set up. But
still, it's just a bit...
So the good point of this, actually, I mean, you say it's a load of old shit, but the good point is that it's not really locking you out of any content properly, is it? Because often our complaint is, it's £40. It's £40 for the game, then £40 for the other half of the game. Whereas in this case, it's inconvenient and it's a botherance if you want access to all those maps. But
it's weird there's so many.
Yeah, that is
34 maps.
Yeah, that is a lot. I took all that from Eurogamer, by the way, .com, so I'll cite the source. So if anything's wrong, go to them, not me. I don't be doing my
I wonder how many
research.
of them are going to be new maps, or how many they go, oh, it's a Gear 3 map, it's a Gear... I wonder how many are regurgitated maps, which makes it even worse, really.
Yeah. I wonder also how many of those are available at launch. Like, you get the 10, there's 24 additional... How long do they take to filter through? There's 24 additional ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
One a month.
I mean, as I say, I'm not too bothered by that. It just seems really weird. No one's ever done that, to my knowledge, before. It's weird that I can accept it if they go, right, it'd be poor if they went, right, it's £40, you can have all the maps, you can play them all online, but we'll only give you a certain amount of them maps every month. You go, right.
Yeah.
But, I don't really understand that. I don't understand what they're getting out of it. They might as well just give it for nothing.
They are, aren't they, essentially? I mean, I know Splatoon, their maps were on rotation every few hours, and there's no season pass for that, obviously, but this rotation thing has been done before, and I think people found it a tad frustrating, but you get over it.
I think it'd be disappointing if you go, I really like that map.
Yeah,
you might not play it for a year.
Yeah, just because you've timed it wrong.
So I think that might be a bit of an odd one. I mean, I just think it's odd if they'd halved the price of that and gone, we'll give you another 10, 15 maps. I mean, 25 maps is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, let alone 34. Like, I just, at what point do you say, right, that's enough? Like,
more is better, though, surely.
For me, when I think back to, I don't want to hark back to this, but Modern Warfare.
That'll be coming up later, but yeah.
That'll come up later, but that had a few maps, but they were all
overgrown.
They were all brilliantly done.
Overgrown was exceptionally done.
Yeah. So
it's the only one I ever got a helicopter. That's why I like it.
All right. I wondered why you've always done it.
Took me fucking months, honestly.
Original Counter-Strike, Dust 2, all
Assault.
these Aztec, all these maps are just
Classics.
really good classic maps.
Oil Rig, not so classic, but I liked it again. Weird little choice for me.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Is that I think it's
quality over quantity.
It's quality over quantity on maps, 100%. I would play a good map like Nuketown. That was Nuketown 24/7. I would sit in that pretty much all day, quite happily, because it's not the map, it's not the variety necessarily in the map. It's how the map plays.
Yeah.
And if the map plays well, then it makes the game enjoyable.
If the map allows a variety of gameplay techniques and tactics, then it certainly gives the map legs. If it's just always the same tactics people are using as an exploit or in certain spots, then they become boring. So, that is Gears of War 4 in a nutshell. So you're looking at £80 for the uncompromised experience, I'd say. I mean, you're not missing anything. You're just getting stuff whenever you like.
They're absolutely not getting £80 out of me.
No. Oh, well, actually, you can save yourself a tenner if you want. The Ultimate Edition will cost £79.99, which includes a copy of Gears of War.
They haven't called it that, have they?
Yeah, they have.
Fuck me.
They couldn't even think of anything new.
So you've got Gears of War Ultimate Edition, then you've got Gears of War 4 Ultimate Edition.
Yep. 80 quid. It'll get you Gears of War 4, the Season Pass, a Steelbook, and early access to the game. Friday the 7th of October. That's 4 days before it
Just
launches.
play Gears Ultimate Edition then. Yeah. That will give you you might as well already be. If you've got Gears 1, 2, 3, 4, well, be no judgment.
Yeah.
Got Gears. If you've got all the Gears and you've got early access, as far as I'm concerned,
You're already playing it.
You're already playing it. And that is the best. All you haven't got is a change in maps.
Yeah. That is costly. So you get it 4 days early if you want the Ultimate Edition. I'm not going to be getting that for sure. But for you, what's the most likely scenario? How does this play out? The Season Pass doesn't sound like it's getting looked at because it's not. No. For once, it's not a complete. We moan because it's not offering value, but it's better for it not to offer value than cut content out for people who don't want to pay for it. So you have to take your hat off there and say you're not really costing people too much, it seems, although it depends how often they rotate these fucking maps, so we won't know until that's done. But what's the most likely scenario for you then? Is it a Gears of War day one plus a Season Pass later on, or is it a Gears of War review jobby, or is it a Gears of War wait till someone else has definitely got it then commit?
Well, Hall's 100% getting it.
Well, Hall should get the Season Pass, I think, and invite us in.
Well, yeah, but again, why are we? What are we getting out of that?
I don't know. 3v3. Well, it's not even that. There'd be three of us in there.
2v1 or 2v2 at best.
Bonkers, isn't it? Anyway.
So, but I don't know actually. I think I will always want to play the campaign on it. I don't feel a buzz to play the multiplayer on this one at the moment. It's really harsh because I don't like judging games on the multiplayer betas, but if that's what you're giving me, in the same way that I played Rainbow Six and all the other betas I've played, they have not changed really that much into the full versions. Division hasn't, Black Ops 3 didn't. None of them have changed. So as far as I'm concerned, they are they might say they're not, but they are a good judge of what you're going to get. Yeah. And from what I'm getting from that is I am getting exactly pretty much what I've got already.
Yeah.
So I'm not overly bothered about playing online at the minute. So as far as I'm concerned, I go right, see what that story's doing.
They need to sell that then. They need to be selling that now.
Because if that's a good story, I will 100% pick it up at some point anyway. But it's a case of if it's that good, I'll pick it up relatively quickly.
Sure.
If it's not, then it gets binned until it's 25 quid.
Yeah.
Like, and that's,
Or it's on Games with Gold.
yeah, well, I'm reserving judgment on it. I'm trying not to be too prejudicial, but look, the summary is, if you like Gears how it is, then you'll love this multiplayer.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. But if you're looking for something new, you're not.
You hated Judgment, maybe.
Yeah. Then you'll probably like it.
Well,
but if you're looking for something new, I wouldn't say this is giving it to you at the moment.
well, it's not, is it? They've played it very safe.
That's one thing I think. So I know we're driveling on, but I think that's the thing that I was expecting a little bit, was that they'd do something a bit more innovative.
Yeah.
Or because it's been with pretty much the same people, and you go, right, well, have you got anything different to bring to it and put your stamp on it?
No.
The answer is a fundamental no. You've just copied the formula and gone, there you go, have that.
There's a drop shot. And we've taken Horde mode out, we think. Although I can't confirm that. Well, there you go. Gears of War 4.
Hall will be sitting at home fucking steaming when
He shouldn't have let us down. He could have come on here and said why we should be getting it. But he's got that Destiny syndrome with it, so can that really be trusted? Let's move on. Another massive franchise, and one that we haven't talked about because you lot have lost sort of interest in it, and B, the saga continues every year. But it's Gears of War. What am I talking about? Jesus. Call of Duty. So you'd be surprised how easy it is to mix those two up when you've been babbling over one for half hour. But Call of Duty, now, rumour has it there's going to be a full reveal, so an official reveal on May the 3rd. So some of you that listen to this, obviously we drop every Sunday, so, that's 2 days before that. So if you listen to it later in the week, you might have already had this information confirmed and squash our babble for the next 10-15 minutes. But there's a reveal coming up for that, and there's been rumours for the last few weeks, which we haven't mentioned, is that it's going to be set in space. Strong rumours suggesting it's going to be a space setting, which is, they've been gearing towards this with Black Ops. It's going further and further into the future. Is this enough to pull you back in on its own, a space setting, or do you think that's a complete departure of what Call of Duty is to you?
Fuck off. Sick of it. You know what that means, don't you? Fucking gravity pissing around and people jumping all over the... Fuck off. What are we going to be doing? It's going to end up... The next one will go lasers.
Well, there should be lasers in this one.
2250.
Battlefront, it'll be.
Well, I just...
Right, so the setting's not enough. Fine.
No, the setting is irrelevant to me. Really. So even if it was all intents and purposes.
Right, okay. So it's the franchise fatigue, isn't it? So even if they try and rejuvenate it, it's not going to work.
Well, I liked Call of Duty, as I said, because it was modern guns, pretty much good gameplay, good maps.
Yeah.
That was what it was. And now, as I said, they keep trying to fucking make it more funky and fuck off with all that. I don't want to go into space. I don't that's been done by other stuff. Can we not
let them do it?
Yeah, stop doing it. Stick to what you're good at.
Yeah.
Fuck off with the bloody yearly release as well.
Oh, that's not happening. That's because they sell so much every year. It doesn't matter what
people need to stop fucking buying it. Like Horn Pete buckled, bought it, supported them.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking played it.
Yeah,
Stop it. Don't buy it.
That is true. They did buy it and they didn't play it enough. It's an interesting twist, this, because you may to play one of your favourite games of all time, you may be forced to enter into this space adventure because there have been leaks that have appeared online regarding this year's new Call of Duty, and they're saying it's going to be called Infinite Warfare, which is an interesting play on words. But essentially, on Reddit, there's been a reservation card that's come from a US store, which is Target, and it reveals that November 4th is going to be the release date, and as I say, it's going to be Infinite War. It looks like the case of the game, or it's a reservation card that they'll use. Now, that's the sort of time that Call of Duty is usually released, so there's no surprises there. And assuming it's not sort of fake artwork, there seems to be some kind of soldier also holding what looks like a space helmet, so it confirms what we've just been speaking about. But the most interesting thing about this is at the top, a little bar across the top of the case, or the top of the voucher, is that this is called the Legacy Edition. And what it suggests is that this actually comes bundled with Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. So you know how the top it'll come and say include such and such. This is what this reserve card says.
Yeah.
So are we gearing up for your dream to finally come true?
This is my... I think I've been asking for this for about 2 years now.
Since day dot, episode 1.
I've been asking for a remaster of this game. And I'm a bit nervous now.
Aye, it's coming, isn't it? Well, this is all unfounded, but if it's true, you finally got it.
Right. What I want from it is a standalone remaster that, in the same way that Gears Ultimate Edition got the TLC it deserved and it was bloody good, I want Call of Duty Modern Warfare to get that level of TLC.
Yeah.
I want it to be the nuts, because I've got such good memories of that game, and I don't want to go back and play it now and go, oh, is that really what it was like, or this isn't. I don't want it to now not be as good as I dreamt it to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If they were doing that as a sole release, if they said, right,
on its own,
you're getting it, I'd go, right, well, that's getting the attention it needs. If it's a bolt-on, that concerns me, because I go, right, why are we bolting this on? If it was that good, we'd be selling it on its own. So, in the same way that Gears did that, I mean, you don't see Gears 4 going, right, here you go.
Well, you don't see it yet.
Well, no, but they didn't. They released the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, separately.
But I think I said to you earlier when we were talking about this, I think that might be because of the yearly release the franchise gets, and then they go, right, there's no
room
time
for it.
There's no room to just stick it out on its own.
No.
But I don't know. It is. I think I've been asking for it so long, thinking that it's never going to happen.
Yeah, hoping.
Now it's a hope, and now I think it's going to happen. I go, right. Are they going to do it properly though?
Can they deliver?
Who's doing it? What's going to be done on it?
It's a tough one, because you'd think, if you're any sort of marketing man or businessman at Infinity Ward or at Activision, more importantly, they know this game is, it's breakthrough. Everyone that played it loved it. Modern Warfare is the standout one for many people, many fans. To say, right, maybe this new space one's not going to resonate with people. The way to make sure they pick that game up is to make sure the only way you can get it is to include a remastered version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Because if you release it standalone, people go, you know what, I think I'll miss Infinite Warfare and just go for Modern Warfare because I know what I'm getting. And I don't think you see that remaster on its own until a long time afterwards, because you will get this. If this is the only way for you to get Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, you're getting Infinite Warfare. It's as simple as that. You're maybe not playing it, but you're handing over the cash.
And this
don't even try and worm your way out of it. You are.
I was at odds with it, because I don't want to be sitting there going and give my money, and then they go, it's best selling Call of Duty ever, Infinite War. But is it though?
It's
because everyone,
though.
It is, and it's frustrating because I don't want to give him that satisfaction. I feel like, and then they've just played me at their game.
It's not a bad deal though. If you're happy to pay full buck for Modern Warfare, and you also get the brand new Call of Duty as well, which you might not like, but at least you've got it and you can have a go at it. And if it's the same sort of price as a normal price game, $60, £40, then it's not a bad deal, is it?
I've got a feeling they'll bump the price up though. I've got a feeling there'll be a standalone version.
And then there's Legacy Edition.
And then there's Legacy Edition, which is like £75 or something.
That ain't
that's what they're going to do, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then that'll break all the revenue, because it'll be fucking double the price almost.
Yeah.
That is the only concern with this. I was thinking this is pretty much a good deal for everyone, but now you've said that, and the fact that it's called Legacy Edition.
100%. That's as soon as you sent me that earlier, I went, right, well, that's going to cost more.
Yeah.
And then I'm all of a sudden not paying £40.
No, you're paying.
So I'm not going to mess about. If they release this and they said, right, that's $39.99, I go, there's my money.
You can actually have that pre-ordered.
Yeah, honestly. I don't do that much, but that game for me was like top 3 ever.
Yeah.
Like, so I would gladly pay money to be able to play that remastered now. I would give them £40, but at the same time, I don't like the idea of giving them £40 on this Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
I don't like giving them that, but I would. You're quite right, but I reckon it'll be more anyway.
So that then is a decision that needs to be made, isn't there?
Yeah,
it's not an easy one. It's not one that we're going to know really. I mean, if for whatever reason this Modern Warfare remaster only has the campaign, that's a complete blow. It has to have the full package, doesn't it? It has to have multiplayer. It has to have everything that you know and love from the original. If it comes with just the offline campaign, no.
No, and I would like to do that again, but I would wait.
Well, I wouldn't bother personally.
Yeah, maybe you got a point, mate. The one thing that ruined Call of Duty was the fact that everyone hacked all the lobbies and when it went to shit.
Yeah.
So I could technically go back and play that now anyway, the campaign, and I probably wouldn't be that fussed about the difference.
No,
but I think it's probably aged quite well, that game.
Yeah, probably.
I think the
fundamentals are still there.
Yeah, it was fine. I'm just a bit concerned about the whole thing, and I've now got a feeling that if they deliberately release that so that they can drum up a bit of hype, or I don't know. It's a strange one. It was literally 2 days before you saw that we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I was going, I really want that.
And they fucking done it. Or they look like they might be doing it. Yeah. And to be honest, like, you can tell that Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward, and I've forgotten the last bloody tech. Treyarch, that's it. Those three are in competition with each other, no question about it, to be the leading developer of Call of Duty. As we know, they rotate each year, and Activision just go game of the year. So Infinity Ward, by doing this, that is a shrewd move.
I think do they know then? Have they got a feeling that this is on its last legs?
Maybe. As we know, like, Infinity Ward, as it used to be, is not. He's not the people that made Call of Duty anymore. A lot of them have moved over to Respawn to do Titanfall, and you can see in the quality of that game. And you look at the quality of some of the Infinity Ward ones; they've probably been the weaker ones out of the three. I'm not no expert, but I read a lot and I see a lot, and I hear your opinions on Ghost, for example, things like that, and people weren't too high on that, and sales started dipping at that point. So Infinity Ward maybe are thinking, right, there's one surefire way of getting people on this. Bundle that in.
Activision.
Well,
Infinity Ward are still doing it.
Yeah, so this is So you wouldn't see Treyarch or at Sledgehammer bundle this in because it's not their property, quote unquote. It is, but it isn't. It's all. I think there's a lot of in-house competition there to be top dog for Activision, because at some point, surely Activision go, right, there ain't having three of you now. Maybe there's two. And they cut the weakest one.
I don't know. I thought it was bollocks when there was two of them doing it. So three's just a joke.
It's the only way they can perceive to keep anything fresh, isn't it? Because if you had the same people churning out, there wouldn't be enough time for one developer to do game every single year.
Yeah, I think this is where Call of Duty lost me, because Titanfall, 2 years basically.
Yeah.
And I think that's an acceptable cycle.
Absolutely.
One a year is just too often.
Yeah.
There's no need for you to be doing that. No. And I think that's where it lost me, because they're trying to bring new stuff in all the time. This is where they bolted shit on just to make it different.
Yeah.
And they fucking ruined it for me. But all the kids love it, so
they all sell like hotcakes. But yeah, we will see. Hopefully, by the time people will listen to this, as I said, if they listen to it late in the week, we'll all know May the 3rd, the day before Star Wars Day.
Key day.
Yeah, so that is the day to highlight if you're interested in this, because I'm sure they'll reveal everything there. There'll be a trailer, there'll be information, and we'll know if we're going to get our pants pulled down if we want to play the classic that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. A couple of other bits to do. Now, Borderlands 3 will be Gearbox's next game. So they've announced that before the release of Battleborn, which everyone seems really down on.
Yeah, I think they know they've dropped.
They've chucked the money away. Then they think, right, what will make us money? Well, Borderlands was popular. Let's go back to that.
Yeah, that's the feeling I get anyway.
Yeah, it got to the point where I loved to play a beta, but I just couldn't muster the strength to spend time to download and play this.
Yeah, same here.
It weren't.
I tell a lie. I downloaded it, but I didn't even put it on, which is poor from me, because I should have at least had a look. But there just weren't that motivation there.
No, there wasn't for me either, and I think it's by reading and watching other podcasts and whatnot, hearing their opinions of it, they're just all down on it. And I was like, what's the point? Everyone seems to shit on this. It's too much of a mix between a MOBA and a shooter. It's not working. It's not meshing as well as it should. But Borderlands, they're saying, is going to be their next game. Borderlands 3. Now, we attempted to slog through Borderlands with Hall together as a 3.
Yeah.
You fell by the wayside. Hall went on to 100% the bastard. And all the DLC, which is, that is too much achievement hunting for my liking. But we've all picked up Borderlands, the Handsome Collection. And even Adkins, who's obviously joined the Xbox One race, now has one of those as well. So us four have all got it. Me, you, Hall, Adkins. What are your expectations for the Handsome Collection? Also, what you'd want? Would you even want a Borderlands 3? Because the way we're kind of doing this is that we're going to end up playing probably, Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel before Borderlands 3 comes out. Will we even want to play a fourth entry after this?
Probably not for a while, is the honest answer.
Well, I think Borderlands 3 is a long way off anyway. 18 months minimum, but...
Yeah.
What was your thoughts genuinely on Borderlands itself? Did you even want to play the Handsome Collection again because of the game, or was it more, okay, that could be a fun social thing to do? Because sometimes that carries the game through more than the actual gameplay itself.
I always like playing games socially. I won't regardless of the game.
Socially, wouldn't you?
Almost, yeah.
Solitaire, you sit there and play for hours with someone waffling to you.
Yeah, probably. You're probably not far wrong. So I like a good social game. I think sometimes if you're doing a solo game, I think it often takes away from the experience. But I always find that doing co-op or multiplayer enhances it by having other people there with you. And I like talking to people as well, and I like pissing people off, and I like the interaction. So
getting in front of people's rocket launchers.
Yeah, just bothering people. But I always enjoy it. So almost regardless of the game, I'll do it. But I feel like I've got unfinished business with Borderlands in that I didn't mind the actual game when I played it, but I just couldn't put up with the drop in frame rate. Like, it made it, for me, almost unplayable. It was literally just... my character was a sniper character.
The new Adkins, the frame rate connoisseur.
Yeah, and I don't like doing it. But it literally made it unplayable.
It was fucking toilet. Once you stuck a shock on a weapon or a flame or a top... anything that added an extra few textures to the screen, it was like, dying.
That really disappointed me, and I knew I was just doing it for the sake of it then, and I was getting pissed off, and I just thought, right, it ain't worth it. If I'm not enjoying it, don't bother.
So for context, we played that mostly through Xbox One backwards compatibility, didn't we? So we used the Xbox 360 disc to play that, but you actually went and played it natively, didn't you, on the 360, and said it was still a bit of a pig.
Yeah, well, it just wasn't up to scratch. And
so even playing it on the 360 on its own, it was still struggling.
I think it might have been like a minuscule bit better, but maybe that was my brain telling me it was.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think. I just think it just couldn't cope for some reason. It just wasn't what I've come to. Maybe back in the day, it was a good game that was acceptable, but now for me, I can't go back and play that, and I didn't feel the need to. So I binned it. But in all honesty, if I get something similar, where on the pre-sequel, which is slightly better graphics and
should all run smoothly,
then that's all good. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
What would you like them to do with Borderlands 3? Difficult to say about playing the other two, but
I don't know. I don't expect it
more
to be
classes, because there's only 4.
Maybe
you got started that snipper and wasn't happy with it.
It was okay, but I don't know what the style of game doesn't really encourage you to sit back. So I wouldn't do that again. I'd get something that's a bit more sort of on the front foot. But we played a little bit of it, but it was just you kill stuff, you get your loot, you upgrade, you buy stuff, you kill some more stuff, you get your loot, you upgrade. It was just a bit like that. It's okay. I don't expect to be blown away by it. Borderlands didn't seem like anything revolutionary, but because it's probably so old, and I've played Destiny and since, it just goes, right, well, it's just not as good as that. And that's not that's fault. It's a lot older, so I don't really know what to expect. In all honesty, I expect more of the same. Some interesting characters, some comedy, I'm hoping it's fairly light-hearted and some stupid guns. Like, that's what I'm expecting.
Some people called the Handsome Collection a Destiny killer because it was a 4-player loot-driven game that had oodles of content, 2 games worth, rather than 8 hours plus some reoccurring nightmare missions on Destiny. So we will see if that's the case, and maybe Hall will get Destiny syndrome with Borderlands, the Handsome Collection. Although I'm pretty sure he's already played through 2. I'm sure he's mentioned he's played through 2. He's done 1 and 2. He's not done the pre-sequel, so I don't know. It was,
as long as this fucking breakneck speed isn't installed, I'll be alright.
Absolutely. We'll go splinter off, I'm telling you, to get that done. But I liked Borderlands, but it did knock the stuffing out of me. Like Hall, as soon as we finished, the Borderlands 1 was finished, and he was done with his 1500G or whatever he got, he was on top of me saying, Border Handsome Collection. I was like, oh, give it a rest. I just couldn't tolerate going back to that after about... I needed a month off, basically, and that's essentially what I've had. A good 4 weeks away from that, just to decompress.
I don't know if I'm still... I'll do it, but I'm not really eager to, because we've had the Division going on.
Well, is it going to...
Again, another...
Is it going to be another Diablo 3 then, where any excuse to not go on it, we'll go...
No, not at all. No, I'll play it, but I feel like I've gone pretty much from Destiny to Borderlands, which I then dropped off of, then got the Division, and then that's going to overlap. I just feel like there's a lot of loot games, a lot of RPGs and all that shit going. I just think, right, Destiny wore me out with the amount of stuff I put into that.
Yeah.
And I had a little break and then went, I don't know, I'm a little bit tired of these sort of games at the minute, and I think that's just because of the amount of them I've played recently.
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be the in thing at the moment, so there's a lot of that going on. Now, this might interest you then, because one thing that Nintendo don't do is follow any sort of convention. They do whatever they like, essentially. And we've finally had confirmation that the Nintendo NX, still codenamed that, so the name could change, although I think they should keep that name, personally. I like NX. Well, anyway,
like it.
Yeah, that will be released in March 2017, and it will launch with the next version of Zelda. That'll also release on the Wii U simultaneously. So finally, we've got a timeline for this. We still don't know what it is, though. We still are pretty clueless as to what it's going to be, how it's going to work, all that sort, how powerful it is. People saying it's going to be as powerful as the PS4, all this.
Not good enough.
We don't know. Well, that is a good point. Is it good enough? But we don't know that, so we won't discuss it. But we've got a date out there.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything they can do to interest you, get you sniffing? Because you've got a Wii.
Yeah.
You've had good times with the Wii.
Yeah.
I've seen you playing it, loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Party.
Yeah.
So is there anything they can do to get you on this? Or are you always going to be one of those Nintendo people that kind of pick up the last gen of hardware cheaper and just catch up on a few things and have it as a secondary console for exquisite occasions? It's a lot of money to invest in it and not play it, essentially.
Yeah, and I don't think it would see much with me. It's a shame. I do like Nintendo games. I do like Mario's, and I've never really got into Zelda, but I do like it. Yeah, but I just then I've got too much going on, and something will get neglected. So in all honesty, I don't know what they've got to give me to be really up for it. I mean, look, I'm a social gamer. I'm not one for sitting here ploughing through a game too much on my own. So what they have always lacked is
robust online
system. Yeah, and I think until they get that, and it mimics basically what I can do on the PS4 and the Xbox to a certain extent, it's a no-go for me.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up every now and again to play in the same way I do the Wii, but I can't justify buying it on release or anything. So
is there potential that you could maybe go Wii U at a 150, 150
I could do
quid,
that. Yeah,
and say, right, I might have a go at that Splatoon now.
Yeah, probably. And I don't really like doing that because I don't feel like a proper gamer, if you know what I mean. I feel like do you know what I mean though? I don't like the idea that I'm not necessarily doing what's current, but just picking up stuff when it's cheap doesn't really seem to give it the recognition it deserves in my eyes. I don't know. It just feels a bit.
Do what you can. Lie, cheat, and steal is what I say. Get it as cheap as you can, and trade it all in.
Yeah, and
that's the way I do business.
It is about getting value. I would be interested in getting a Wii U and upgrading my Wii, but back to the NX, I just think that launch something that's going to blow people's socks off. Don't be behind the curve this time, Nintendo. Try and get ahead of it.
Well, the trouble is they try too hard and they end up with that gamepad, which for people will defend it and say it could have been really good, but the fact of the matter is it wasn't supported by enough games, so it never did get good enough, really. And they kind of go too far sometimes. They just need to find a happy medium. But then, if they have a happy medium, aren't they just another Xbox or PlayStation? They kind of you have to admire that they do something different. And they go, right, this is what we're going for. Let's do it.
But they do something, and then they go...
they do something really stupid, like not bundle the fucking Pro pad in with it. So if you want to play it without the gamepad, you've got to buy it separately. Or they release the bleeding... I think there's a new 3DS without a power socket, a power cable.
Yeah. You got to buy one of those. You go, what? Well, how am I playing it then?
Yeah, they do some really odd things sometimes. Cut that crap out. Now, I've got a Wii. I mean, everyone had a Wii. Literally everyone has a Wii.
Yeah.
And the Wii U, I made a decision that once if Zelda come out and Super Mario Galaxy 3, then I was going to get that. Now Zelda's coming, but it's also coming on this NX console.
Yeah.
So I kind of think, well, should I be getting an older version when maybe the definitive version is going to be on the NX? So the requirements, this is like an open letter to Nintendo. If you want me to buy this NX, you've ticked one box, Zelda's coming to it, and it's coming at launch, and it's coming at the same time as the Wii U version, so you're not behind the curve there. So fine, that's one box ticked. Second box, I need to have either backwards compatibility down to maybe the GameCube. That's asking a lot, I know, but the Wii U would be great, and the Wii would certainly be good. It means I can play Super Mario Galaxy 2, finish that off, and pick up a Splatoon, Mario Kart 8, that sort of stuff, and play that. If you can't do that, which I fully understand, then you need to, and I can't believe I'm saying this, considering 15 months ago I was crying about this, remaster some of the classics from the Wii U, or make the older games on the Wii, for example, available to download on the Virtual Console. That's all I want.
Not much.
I don't think that's a lot. They can do the remastering, no problem.
Yeah.
Because as much as they say this isn't replacing the Wii U, they've got to be thinking, right, get that out of the way, get this in. All the games that are playing well on the Wii U, get out there for the NX. Just get them out there. People might start adopting it. But the dream is, for me, is that this NX, you pick it up, and I can then buy a game that was released on the SNES via the Virtual Console, which you can do with some titles on the Wii U. And I want this to be, like, from now on, if I buy something on the Virtual Console, if I ever buy a Nintendo console in future, it's there as well. I don't have to keep buying it again. One of the problems they've had is each version of the console you've had to buy. So if you buy something on their online store, you've then got to buy it again for the next console or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So now I'll start doing it properly. Whatever I buy on my Nintendo account stays there, and I can play it in future.
On the cloud.
Well, it can stay where it wants as long as I can get at it. I've already lost Streets of Rage 2 because of the 360. I can't get that back. I've had to buy it on Steam.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying.
But actually, stuff like that,
give it to me.
Yeah, especially stuff that's, well, I suppose they'll say, well, you can still play it if you play it on the Wii. And it's like, well, it ain't the same, is it?
It's been superseded. Come on.
Yeah. Well, the other interesting bit of information here is that it won't be at E3 this year, the NX. So you will see Zelda, which will be good, but you won't see what this NX is.
It's really weird. I don't understand the secrecy.
Wow.
It's a really odd. It's not necessarily drumming up more hype for it, because no one can get hyped about something they don't know what they're getting.
No.
Like, at least release, like, what are you planning to do with it?
Yeah. Like,
give people some idea of what your marketing plan is, what audience you're going at. Like, it's just something. Like, no one's out there that you're competing against, really. You're out there on your own.
Yeah, doing whatever.
Yeah, so I don't understand why they'd go, no.
Maybe it's something. Well, there's rumours that it's going to be portable as well. There's buttonless controller fakes going out. I don't know. It was going to be a subject for the podcast many weeks ago, but every week it was changing, and I was like, fucking hell. Let's just wait till we find out what it is, then talk about it.
And we still haven't, but we've got a date.
Yeah, we've got a date at least. That's a fact.
It's pretty close, really. Like,
yes, under a year.
12 months under that, yeah.
So it won't be long. It'll be up shortly after E3. I imagine they'll get Zelda out there, and then after that, maybe autumn time, we'll see what it is, do a big push, and then we'll have a look, and we'll have to discuss it properly.
Yeah.
But they've done well to at least give us something out in March. Still very secretive. I'm interested at least, though, at what they've got to say for themselves. I'm sniffing, as we would say. I'm sniffing. Well, we've overrun, and that basically means that anything I planned... This is meant to be half hour, 40 minutes tops. It's run the full hour, so which means I've got to do no more work on this podcast this week. The stuff I had planned for this week, which included a chat about Mirror's Edge Catalyst and Neo,
Deferred.
will be stung onto next week's episode, so you have to wait for that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, doesn't it?
Apologising to the audience. They've got this hour of gaming waffle.
Yeah, they were. That's what they've got to come to expect. They've got to get used to that. That's what happens when people let you down, innit? But let's wrap it up then. If you guys want to get in contact with us, you can do. Twitter handle, isn't it? @DimpDigital, Facebook.com/DimpDigital for the Facebook stuff, and DimpDigitalMedia@gmail.com. Pretty sure we've had 0 emails into that, so I might just drop that. Yeah, bin that. Actually, don't bother emails because no one is.
Just tweet us or Facebook.
Facebook's fine, yeah, or tweet us. If you listen to this on a podcast app and you're on Android and you're not using Player FM, perhaps you should give it a go because it's actually a good app for getting at us, getting us downloaded. And if you've got Apple or Windows, you can find us there, or you can head over to youtube.com/DimpDigital and watch the empty screen and listen to us that way, which people still do. Fine.
Who's doing that? Stop it.
Well, I don't know. It's fine. People do it, and they're really happy with it. So, but I'm not making it more engaging for you. It will just be the blank screen forever. So if you're happy with that, fine. If you're happy with that, fine. But it's not my preferred method. But if people are watching over their dinner, maybe YouTube's a more accessible app. I was going to plug the website, but that's fallen away a little bit. So this is a bit of a nudge to the webmaster. Get that bloody post updated because we're still on episode 63 according to that. So how's that getting behind? I would update it myself, but I don't know how to do the podcast bit. So the chappers, get 64 and 65 up. Where's that gone?
He's focusing on episode 100. That's all
he's planning ahead for episode 100 for the special, but you need to do the basics first before we can have a look at that. That's it for now, though. Game over. It's goodbye from Logan.
See ya.
And it's goodbye from me, Apps. Thanks for your time, and ta-da.
Supposed to pick Jodie up 3 minutes ago.
Was she?
Yeah.
Is she livid?
I don't know.
Yeah, have to deal with it.
I just said to her, it looks like we're going to overrun, because she was like, I'll be in about 25 to 9. And I was like, yeah, I'll be well done by then.
Yeah.
Bloody absolutely chucked it.
Yeah,
to see where she is.
We got to a point at like 45 minutes, and I was like, well, there's no point trying to... I might as well just fucking try and long it out now. Anyway, Gears of War 4, shit, podcast closed. Thank you.